Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, friends of Gomztalkz. A pleasure to greet you once again on a new Thursday podcast, Gomztalkz Thursday. And it's a continuation of this great series of creators. And today we have a great episode because it's the continuation of our English series. And we're very excited to bring you a creative mind, a graduate of Holt Boston, and a former fellow classmate of mine, the founder of Curated, Aurelien Scagnolari. A true pleasure to have you on the podcast today, Aurelien. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. How about you?
Everything fine. Where are you right now? I saw you jumping from a lot of places lately. Where are you right now?
I'm in France. Yes, I was a bit everywhere for the past month and a half. I'll be going to Brazil tomorrow actually, and then I'll be staying there for a month and a half. So I'll be able to just settle and have my routine back like I like it.
Nice. In the beach, there's no better place.
I guess it's summer there, so yes, it will be definitely different than here where it's actually pretty cold right now.
Yeah, it's better. Also in Boston, here the winter is coming early, so we prefer it. So to start off, I'd like you to tell us a bit about yourself. Who's Aurelian? What was his major? Does your story begin and your passion, especially for blockchain and for industry of LinkedIn, social media, and also this part of blockchain, crypto, and all these types of passion you have developed lately?
Yes, for sure. Let's do it. First of all, I want to thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. And yes, let's dive into it. Let's do it. So yes, I'm Aurelien. I'm originally from France, landed in Boston exactly 4 years ago as a student, ready to tackle university to study business along you, Sebastian. And I really took university as a way for me to use these years, these wise years, to maximize the knowledge that I could get in order to build my company while in university or right after university. So that's what I did. Got into university and started meeting awesome people from the beautiful city of Boston. We got the brightest minds there from Harvard, MIT, amazing events, amazing people. So that's what I did, little by little, step by step, one connection at a time. Started getting myself a bit more noticed. But then one day I thought to myself that leveraging digital platforms in order to grow this network, which is very important in business, could be an edge for me towards my other fellow colleagues at Holt International Business School. Because you realize when you get into university that you are a name next to a school name, and there are hundreds of people like you in a way. Yes, you can compare people with their GPAs, with their passions, etc. But whenever you go to an event and introduce yourself, you can show your charisma, your skills, etc. But still, for that person, you are a name to a university. So I thought to myself, look, let's try to create content on LinkedIn about blockchain technologies. Let's set the goal to do this for 30 days. That's what I did. And after 30 days, my audience was already around 3,000 people, getting a lot of engagement around my posts. And whenever I will reach out to people, I will be like, look, and we have a small call, 15, 20 minutes to have that person in my network. They will be more keen to say yes because of the audience that I had built. And this was only for 30 days. And I actually did that for now more than 3 years, pivoted a bit on industries. But yes, did that for a year in the blockchain industry, got into a company as a partner, acquired 15% of that company, became a partner in that company. Also got invited in multiple events like the Silicon Valley Metaverse Summit, the F1 Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi in 2022. And all of these events were just making my audience bigger and bigger on LinkedIn. And whenever I will reach out to someone, it was almost like, yes, of course, we're going to have a talk because X amount of people follow you on a daily basis, posting this content. So yes, let's have a chat. I want to know more about you. And I was no more the guy with the name and the school name, but the guy with the knowledge about that industry. And then that was exactly about a year ago when a few CEOs and founders started reaching out. Can you help me write that post? Can you help me handle my LinkedIn account? And I was like, look, yes, of course I can do it. If I do it for free, I put you in my network. It's a win-win solution. And then the demand just started rising, and month by month was just too overwhelming to just handle accounts and write these posts. Decided to get into the incubator at our school and built an agency called Curated, where I would help CEOs and founders build their personal brands on LinkedIn. So that's what I did, and been building that for the past 10 months, launched the company 6 months ago, and now we're helping beautiful minds building their personal brands on LinkedIn.
Wow, that's amazing. And I want to go before getting deep into that a little bit before in your life. It's a question that I always like to all the creators that have been on Gomztalkz is what did you want to be as a child? Because as we grow up, we forget what we want to be as a child, and almost every time when you ask a child what he wants to do, he always tells you something. He's not like for us in early 20s, he's like, I don't know. What Aurelien wanted to do as a child? It's a funny question.
That's an interesting one, that's for sure. So if we go back maybe to 6, 7 years old, I felt like that part of my life was more towards becoming a pilot, becoming something, like a bit crazier, like an archaeologist or something really more related to that. And then I got more into the 10, 12 years old, and asking people, what is it that makes the most amount of money? Just a simple question that I will ask adults at 12 years old, and they will always tell me investment banking. Go to investment banking. That's where you'll make the most money. Go to banking, go to Wall Street. And then for 2 years I got that thought of, yes, that's what I'm going to do. For sure, I'm going to do that. But then, with the years, you realize that the end goal is not what you want to aim at, and the destination isn't the goal. The travel is actually the goal. And so I pivoted towards more that business perspective when I was maybe 14 years old. We can dive into it more after, but yeah, that's when I did an exchange program at 14 years old, and it opened my mind to entrepreneurship. And that's when I knew I just wanted to open companies for a living.
Nice. Where did you went at 14? To where?
So if you want, I went to Denver. I was really during my high school years, and after 1 year of high school, I've always wanted to go to the United States because my dad has always told me that it was the place to grow, to be successful, etc. And after 1 year of high school, I just was almost so done with school already that I went up to my parents and I was like, look, can I take a gap year and do an exchange program, go to a host family? I'll still go to school in the United States as a high school student. It just won't count as credit, but at least I'll learn by being by myself in a host family in a foreign country, not speaking the language. And yes, that's that year that really opened me to all these opportunities, yes, in this world.
That opened your mind. And before LinkedIn, you started a little bit of your career in blockchain, and you worked at Utopia Metaverse. How did you enter, and how it was working there, and like your first job of the industry?
Totally, very interesting part of my life. So this was during university actually, and I don't even know. I'm going to be honest with you if this was fully really authorized by the school. But since I wasn't directly paid and I was just a stakeholder, I just decided to go ahead and do so. So this was basically after 5 months of posting LinkedIn content. And one guy that I reached out to after maybe 60 calls, reached out to this guy and told him, look, I got an idea. What do you think of it? We had a 30-minute call. And after the call, he told me, look, you're going to learn so much more by coming to my company, getting this amount of percentage of this company, and I'll teach you every single thing you need to learn about entrepreneurship, building businesses, and just everything, related to building a tech product. And this has basically been the best year of my life while being in university, because I got to learn from people with experience. This guy is called actually Emmanuel, 35 years old. still the CEO of this company called Utopia. And it's basically through this company that I was able to then make more connections, get invited to these events, and just learn so much more about business from an insider point of view.
Nice. And how do you started in blockchain, like learning? Because, for example, myself and my dad, when he started telling me about Bitcoin around, I don't know, 5, 6 years ago, and I didn't make so much with him. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll search through it until the first boom happened. And I started like learning by myself on internet and all that type of things. And it's like a casual case on everyone that started in blockchain. There are not even enough courses to teach you like from A to Z. How do you start learning in blockchain for all the people that hear us and that follows you, that are gonna hear this podcast? How do you start on this industry?
Of course. So it's an interesting story that I don't think I've really told anyone. Maybe only my close circle know it. So if you want, during COVID-19, I was in France, my last year of high school. And in January of COVID-19, so my last year of high school, they told us, look, you don't have to go to school anymore. You won't have to pass the exam at the end of the year. So you're almost free to do whatever. And me going to university September that same year, I told to myself, look, let's get a job and just let's make some money. At the time, making money on the side is a thing in France that you do, a student job, they call it. And decided to get a cashier job next to my house because we were during a lockdown, so we couldn't do anything. So did that cashier job for 3 months and put all my money that I made from all these hours of being a cashier into blockchain, into cryptocurrencies, into Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that was during the COVID-19 really big dip. So Bitcoin was about $6,000 and Ethereum was about $200. And I didn't know what it was before. I had no clue. I just wanted to put my money somewhere where it was going to work for me. I could have lost it all, but it didn't, because I actually made 5 times my amount in Ethereum and 2 times in Bitcoin, sold it all. And I was like, okay, look, that technology must be interesting. Let's dive into it and let's learn more about it. And that's when I got into university in September 2020 during COVID. And for that entire year, I just learned every single thing I could about the technology. And I knew that it was going to become something huge in a few years. And that human psychology was telling me that right now was the time where you need to build and understand the technology more than ever, because there have been people that are very smart that have been doing so for the past 6 years. So you better catch up. So that's what I did, learn everything about it, made connections around it. And that's why, in a way, I started talking about it on LinkedIn, because what I was learning, I was putting it on LinkedIn. I was documenting all my learnings. So that's as simple as that.
But you were learning full alone, like you were reading articles and you find a term that you didn't understand, you search it, and then you start like that, all on your own.
All on my own. Yes, nowadays on the internet, there is a lot of without using bad words, terrible work. But if you have the right resources, I believe, and can make yourself with the right opinions, you can actually just learn so much from even an industry that's like blockchain technologies. So yes, all on my own, articles, videos, anything that I could find, I will take it, dive into it, and just spend hundreds of hours trying to understand that.
Yeah, even here in Holt past semester, we had a nano course that was actually blockchain, but they just taught you the basis that you could. They didn't taught you what you really need to know why it can get so big. And that's another thing about the terms of blockchain, that they're already dead. For example, the NFT term, that we talked and discussed a little bit about that on the other call the other day, that, for example, NFTs are a great tool, but we didn't knew how to use it at the beginning. And now you told me that it's a death term, and that's a great way to address it. How do you think this is gonna evolution at the future? Because it's a technology that will work if we can use it correctly.
Okay. So first of all, I think before we dive into that, we gotta understand that people really work with trends. You see it now with AI. Look at VCs, venture capitalists. Any deck that has AI in it, they will fund it. But if it's a deck that has NFTs, Web3, they will not fund it. Just to show you the actual bubble that we're into. And we had this bubble around blockchain technologies, which now imploded. And the way I see the technology in the future is that it will, and it already did, revolutionize many industries. It's just that the industries that it did revolutionize, we don't see it because it's in the back end. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you a quick example. Back in the days, I think it was in 2015, Walmart had a problem with its salads. They didn't know why. There was a part of its salads that were always bad. And the thing is that, you know, companies like Walmart, they outsource it to thousands of farmers. Salads come from thousands of other farmers, and they couldn't identify which farmer was producing this salad that was bad.
Okay.
And they took 6 months to find the guy, the farmer that was producing this salad. And they made a study that with blockchain technologies, a year later, with the same example, they could find it in a matter of seconds. And there are so many industries like that that are being revolutionized by this technology itself, and it will keep to do so in the future. We're talking about it before that call about ticketing. It's also a huge industry that was and is and will be even more disrupted.
Yeah, that the industry of ticketing has been the same for a lot of years, and Ticketmaster has made some change. But for example, in a third world country, for example, in Mexico, you still have sometimes to go for your tickets, for your physical ticket. And if you send a photo and it gets resent, you lost your ticket. Someone else is gonna use it. And also, if a lot of scammers are outside of every venue, each concert, each game, a lot of money goes in there that can be solved with blockchain and with NFTs. That you said to me another term that I don't remember right now, that we could use to stop using NFT and start using another type of term for
digital assets.
As digital assets, because it's something that it could sell the same. Everyone in almost in the world has a cell phone, and also if you are able to afford a ticket for entertainment, you're also able to afford a cell phone that can have a wallet with an NFT, with an asset. So there are solutions that we can create, but right now the people doesn't want to found because of these terms, you think?
Mm-hmm. No, but totally, it's a fact, you know, like the term NFT has been destroyed. It's a fact. And it's unfortunate, but it's the way it is, you know. Some people have made a lot of money by making some NFT collections, by I would say scamming people, you know, which is sad for the industry because yes, definitely took a hit. But if you want my full opinion, it's during these bear markets that developers can build great products. And when you look at the previous cycles, it's always during these bear markets that the best products have rose right after, and then it got into another bull run. And you will see it in a matter of months because it's been 2 years that no one really talks much about blockchain and cryptocurrencies and digital assets, etc. Not as much as before. Now it's all about AI, I guess. And you will see.
Exactly. And after Utopia, you went to here we have it. You went to work to Dubai, to the one you tell me you were a partner. How was the change of Utopia then to work in Dubai and to change like your whole your life? Because I think you worked there almost 8 months, right?
Yes. So if you want to clarify it, it's because the company is based in Dubai. I wasn't actually full-time in Dubai. I've been there, yes, a few times because I had to see the co-founders, etc. That's what also we did the F1 Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi. But yeah, no, but Dubai is I was there exactly a month and a half ago. And this place, I'm going to be honest, I really love it because it's really that combination of New York, Los Angeles, Miami. It's hospitality, the Wall Street of New York, but all in the same place. 45 minutes from top to bottom. And you get all these people that come from different countries, but for the same reason, becoming a better person and making their businesses rise. You know, without even talking about that it's just bling bling, like with a lot of green, orange Ferraris or whatever. People go there for tax issues. Or Dubai is definitely, genuinely an amazing place to build businesses. Truly believe in that.
It's nice. And yeah, because Dubai, you only, or in general, we only associated that city with exactly with bling bling, the great cars, but we forget that there are not only like crown people from the UAE, and there are also a lot of business people that go there just to close deals or to make money or to search a lot of opportunities, because Dubai is it's a city that is still growing, and it has still a lot of opportunities in a lot of industries.
I know, but totally. And I think, you know, like, because we can dive into this maybe more after, but I was doing this world tour for 6 weeks and I've been to 5 different cities filled with, in my opinion, the biggest and the most leaders in the world, from Dubai to Singapore, Seoul, Tokyo, and San Francisco. And my takeaways on Dubai was that even though, yes, this place is an amazing place to build businesses filled with awesome entrepreneurs, awesome investors, a great culture, etc. You know, there is this theory of the US is a bit falling down because of places like Dubai, etc. And the thing that shocked me the most in Dubai is that you have the biggest Starbucks there. You have the biggest Apple store there. People listen to Joe Rogan. They love American movies. They love Taylor Swift. And then you tell yourself, you tell that to yourself, and it's like, oh, the US isn't at all falling down. The culture is just too strong. So I don't know if this really replies to the question you were asking. But yes, I really think that just by working together, they can really make the world just a better place in that sense.
Exactly. And continuing a little bit with LinkedIn that you started almost 2 years ago, you thought that it would start having an impact so early, because you told us that you had like 2K followers pretty quick when you started posting almost daily.
Mm, at first, I didn't have a long-term vision with LinkedIn. I'm going to be fully honest with you. It was only a short-term thing of I'm going to share my learnings. It's okay if I get laughed at, which was the case at first. You know, many people were like, how do you spend so much time? Why do you spend so much time just writing things? And you know, it's a bit of a thing. Like, yeah, why do you spend so much time talking about yourself on social media and about what you're learning, etc.? And yeah, so at first it was really only about that thing of, yeah, I just want to have a good account. So when I reach out to people, they'll think like, wow, I need to speak to that person. That person is worth my time. That was the thing. But then with the month, I started realizing that, look, you can't just stop it now. You have to get the machine going and going. And it's a game of consistency, LinkedIn. There is no secret. It's really about being out there consistently and showing up and delivering value. And yes, and at some point, if you're smart enough and you have the right strategies, of course, you can put yourself out there and become a thought leader in your industry.
Yeah, and what you do is amazing. We're gonna enter right now to curate it, because a lot of people and powerful people or people that have money don't value LinkedIn as much as it has to be, because almost as an influencer, I search are the ones that paid the most by the range of followers. Like if you have, I don't know, 20, 50K, they pay a lot in comparison if you have the same in TikTok or in Instagram. Like the paying in as an influencer in LinkedIn, I think is higher related to followers as more than any other platform. And entering to create it, how's the process of creating a luxury brand? Because your target are people with money, because not everyone can afford someone to make his LinkedIn. How is the process of creating something for that high-end people?
That's interesting. So if you want, you get two type of people. You get someone, yes, that has a lot of money and wants to build their LinkedIn, and they'll reach out to me because they see my content on a daily basis. And yes, these people, you don't need to convince them. These people, they know that LinkedIn is worth it and they have the money for it and they'll pay for it. Okay, that's the first part. I'll get to your question after about how do I really tailor it to these people. But then you get the other side of things, which is founders that are almost like me, that are still young in their processes, even though I'm working with some founders that are young in their processes, they are 35, 40 years old. And these people, they do sometimes understand the power of LinkedIn, and they'll prefer spending their marketing costs on building their personal brands rather than spending it on Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, whatever it is. And that's the beauty of it. Marketing is changing, and some people really value the fact that having a personal brand can drive you much more than trying to spend some things on marketing campaigns, etc. And now to your question on how do I tailor it to people that have money, I don't have a specific answer to that. In my opinion, it's just about having my strategy that's out there, which is constantly posting on a daily basis about personal branding, about what we did with my previous clients. How did we take that client from A to Z? How much time did it take? Or look, if you don't want to pay for the service yet, I'm here to also offer you free value through my postings. If you look at my daily content on a daily basis, I'll speak about tips on personal branding, LinkedIn, audience growth, etc. And then at some point, someone is going to feel like, wow, I want these results as well. What he talks about, I want to do it, but I don't have the time. Let me book that call with him. Let me reach out, and that's more the strategy than making it really tailored and going out there into marketing campaigns. It's quite different.
And the personal brand right now, we can see it in this pretty new trend that it's called the creator economy. That it's, for example, you can see the Kings League in Spain and right now in America, that it's a competition created just by creators, by content creators of YouTube, of also on TikTok. And you can see also that Amazon is now making series about two girls that are literally just influencers that start on TikTok. So this creator economy, in combined with the power of a personal brand, are gonna create the next type of marketing in a way. That's how I thought, and that's how I think about it.
You're right. And look, I don't know if in the company called Cisco is actually offering their 84,000 employees LinkedIn training. And the reason for that is that they're gonna make 84,000 people LinkedIn top voices for Cisco. So on a daily basis, you're gonna have all these people talking about how Cisco is amazing, the values at Cisco, how at Cisco they help companies do X. But imagine the power of this. They're just paying the trainings, and yes, maybe you get a bonus if your content is good, or if your content is seen X amount of times. So you, as an employee, what do? Yes, you're gonna want to create that content and make it good. That's the power of personal branding. Yes, as employees as well, not only founders.
Exactly, because at the end of the road, if they want to move on to another job, it's gonna be easier for them.
Exactly.
Have you ever had any issues with a client or partner? I know Curated is pretty young, but have you ever had any issues with someone or in work, and how you manage it being now at the top of the line instead of just being an employee?
That's an interesting one. I don't think so far, and maybe it's just that I'm lucky. I don't think I've had any troubles with any clients. I think because I really pick who I work with. I do not take anyone, and that's a luxury that I give to myself, because if I will take anyone, then it's complicated, because if you want to know more about it, I get to sit down with people and they tell me their stories that even their wives or husband don't know about, and I get to put it into writing and then write on LinkedIn on their behalf. So if I see that the relationship doesn't go so well whenever we have that first call, I'm not going to want to work with that person, even though I'll say no to some money, yes, but I cannot work with someone that is just closed-minded or things like that. It's very important in that sense. So yes, I'm glad that I haven't had any troubles regarding that, and yes, let's hope for the best that it stays like that.
And also they say there's a famous saying, especially in sales and in what we study, is that the most difficult part is for them to pay. At the end, always. You can do the work, you can do everything, but always the hard part is making them pay you at the end.
No, but you're right. That's why I always make sure that each one of my clients, they pay before the month. It's a monthly fee, and they must pay before we start working, because I know some people, agency owners, that do installments, or yeah, they'll pay next month or whatever, but then people just go away and they owe so much money, and you as the business owner, you're just screwed. Me, that's not how it works.
It's horrible. And have you experienced, it can be not only in curated, but in your life, about, I don't know, when you were a little bit down and about throwing the towel, probably not just only in LinkedIn, probably in work, you super stressed or something like that, a point in your life where you wanted to throw the towel and to give it all away and to just follow the line of going, as you told us, to Wall Street, for example.
You see, the entrepreneurship path is definitely not an easy one, and that's the wrong thing about social media, is that it's filled with the wins only. How much people made, and the
A lonely
the
one.
cars they bought, and exactly. And but when you actually dive deeper into it, every single entrepreneur has a bit of a dark side inside of them, because you really must be obsessed with what you do if you want to make it work. There is just no other way to put it, it's, you really must be obsessed by either the company you're building, by either the vision, the purpose, your end goal, maybe the travel itself. But I don't think I've ever wanted to throw the towel. But yes, there are days that it's definitely not easy. There's some days that it's a lot of pressure. There's always something going on, always problems to solve. And you know what they say, the bigger you get, the bigger the problem. So I'm resilient, I'm ready for it. And look, day by day, that's why I always tell myself, and there is that saying that I like a lot. I don't remember who says that. I think it's a guy called Sahil Bloom. He says that right now, if I put you at the top of the Everest, you will die because of oxygen, because of your body not being just sufficiently allowed to go up there. But if I take you day by day to the top of the Everest, then you will be acclimated for your body. It's the same as diving. I know you dive, it's the same thing. If I put you right now at below 100 meters, you wouldn't be here anymore. Exactly. Slowly by slowly, that's how it goes. And that's why I tell myself.
It's great. And because you told that the misconception about social media and an entrepreneur in real life, it's abysmal, it's enormous. They think it's just like, oh, success is there, it just happens like right away. But also I think that for success, you have to be, as you tell, prepared for it. And you have to be ready for when it comes to knock your door. Because if it comes and knocks your door and you're not ready, it's just gonna go to the next door and it's gonna be in someone else's hands. It's not gonna be you.
But you're right. That's the thing. That's why you really need to be ready, and constantly ready. Not just I'm ready one day and then for 3 months I go on a vacation, or no. It's really about that. And to add to your point, I think talking about social media, people should really stop looking at social media on a daily basis, all day, all night, Because at the end, what you need is not more information, it's more courage. You got to take more action. More information, we all have our heads, our brains filled with information daily because of the amount of content we watch, because of the amount of audios we listen to, because of everything surrounding us. But then if you just sit down and put yourself in front of a computer and tell yourself, look, today I'm just going to take action, action, courage. Have that courage, take this action, and you will see that just not looking at this social media is a blessing. In my opinion, it just helped me so much.
And people think that, oh, I want to be a millionaire. And then you have to ask yourself, okay, you're ready to be a millionaire? Are you having the habits of a millionaire? Are you having like the schedule of a millionaire and the discipline of him, that he wakes up at the same hour every day? He doesn't go party. He socializes and can have time away with his friends. Okay, but he puts the works in. Are you ready for it? That's one of
You're right.
I love to ask. And the other day, I was invited to a podcast, and they told me, no, actually, it was in mine. I was discussing with it was the founder of Raw Apothecary. It's a skincare brand that at the end was owned by L'Oreal in Mexico, and there were two girls that founded. And he was talking. We were discussing a little bit about that. My speech was a lot of that you deserve and you serve, and like, and I was like, yes, but no. If you put the work, you will take the steps to at the end deserve. If you put a lot of TikToks, for example, in a platform, a lot of reels, it's sure you will hit one with more views than the other one. But if you don't put it, the work is not gonna be in just by willing it. No, you need to make the work, and then the world and the thing is gonna happen at the end.
It's a numbers game. It's definitely a numbers game. And the more repetition you make, the more likely your chance of succeeding are. And that's for everything from athletes to businessmen to anything related to that.
And what has been one of the toughest trials of your life and in this process of being an entrepreneur? Did your parents support you?
That's a massive question. I'm lucky enough that yes, my parents have always supported me, and I think that's part of luck, in a way. I think I was gifted not with talent, but I was gifted with parents that supported me since the beginning. They always trusted me, even after university. They told me, "Look, son, do whatever you got to do. We trust you. Build that company that you want to build, and we trust that you're going to make these wise decisions without even putting the pressure on the shoulders of you must deliver, just with the thought of, look, go out there, go face walls, go fail, and then you'll become a man that way, by failing, by being on the ground and not even wanting what to do, even if you're 25 and then you build another company. And I feel like if your parents are there to really support you constantly, just by telling you, look, you're just making some smart decisions here. We just agree with everything that you do. Just keep going at it. And at some point it will pay off. And that's pretty much how it is with my parents. And I couldn't thank them enough for them to be like that. In terms of the toughest time that I've had in business, even though it hasn't been a journey that was easy, I maybe built more than I wouldn't say businesses because I didn't always launch companies, but maybe more than 15 projects, different projects from various industries, and most of them fail, and I'm happy about these failures because they make the person that I am today. And it's because of all these failures that I'm able to build Curated and make its beginning successful, and hopefully the next few years as well. So yes, not tough, but part of the journey, I would say.
And actually, I went to class today, and one friend of both told me, this Nicholas, told me that you started to work on this like 2 years ago, probably at the middle of college. Started on LinkedIn. And how was for you like the process of stepping a little bit away? I don't know, from parties, probably on friends, of I don't know, just to isolate a little bit to be able to have a clear mind to start creating more stuff to the Aurelien for the future.
It was a choice. I'm going to be honest. It was a choice. I did 3 years of university. The first year was filled with making connections, a lot of partying, a lot of making new friends, a lot of getting really into that new environment of being in the US, in Boston, with new people from all these countries. And the last 2 years were extremely focused with the dedication that was extremely precise. And every single day I was out there working either at home or at the school on my projects. I was, yes, putting a bit, even school on the side. I was an entrepreneurship major. So working on my business was my main focus, I would say, compared to someone that was a finance or a business analytics major. So yes, I would work more than 40 hours every single week on my own stuff. And yes, unfortunately or fortunately, not partying enough. But I have to, yes, maybe thank the fact that I started having a girlfriend after a year of being in university, which really put me into that figure of having responsibilities in a way, and really being almost like a at-home businessman that doesn't even need to party and go see many friends because I had my girlfriend. So yes, I think that's really played a huge role, because on the weekends didn't need to go party because I had her and I could stay at home, eat dinner, go to sleep at just 11 p.m. with no alcohol in my blood. And to be honest, I don't regret a single minute. I still made some amazing friendships, met you as well. So there's some amazing connections that I will keep for sure for a lifetime. So yes, it was a choice, a mindset, and I did everything, in my opinion, I could out of these 3 years in university.
Did you regret anything from doing or not doing in college?
No, nothing. No regrets.
Nice.
Nothing.
What is a dream you hope to achieve someday?
A dream of mine.
A dream of yours.
Me, I love in-person events. And when I was 14 during that year as an exchange student in Denver, I set myself the goal at the beginning of the year, not speaking English, that I would be in front of the entire school doing that morning meeting that they will do on a daily basis and speak about a topic that I would be passionate about. And that's what I did 7 months later, was in front of the entire school speaking about leaving your comfort zone. So was me out of France, speaking to them, not speaking English 7 months before. And that was just such a fulfilling experience because of the impact it had on people. I felt with all these people telling me, look, it just shows me that, yeah, leaving your comfort zone can be really beneficial. And I really think that, yeah, maybe a big dream of mine will be that in 20 years, I go to these huge events with thousands of people and I'm out there just delivering value and changing people's lives. I really believe into the more impact you make, the better your life is. And I think that's what I'm aiming at. Curated is just a phase of my life. You won't see me building Curated at 27 years old. Or if I am, maybe that's good, but I don't think I will. It's a phase of my life. There will be new companies after that. But yeah, that end goal is really to have that impact on people.
Amazing. And one last question until we start to wrap up and we pass to the last game we're always hosting Gomztalkz is, if you could travel back in time and give a piece of advice to the Aurelien from 10 years ago, what would you tell him?
Wow. There is that quote from Steve Jobs that I deeply like, and I think we quite mentioned it. And Steve Jobs says, in life, you can optimize two ways, either for the travel or for the destination. But he says that he doesn't know anyone that's not unhappy, that optimized for the destination. So that means is you must optimize for the travel. And that's what maybe I will tell the Aurelien that's 14 years old, even though now he has changed. I'm fully optimizing for the travel, is live your life like an adventure. Every single experience that you have, every single relationship that you build, make them special. Invite people to special places, invite people to dinner, buy someone that thing that he or she wants, and really live these experiences that pay dividends for life, and that every single moment of your life you remember them like it was such an amazing experience. And that's what I want to live my life like. I want at 15 not to be like, yes, I made X amount of whatever. Yes, I will make this X amount of whatever. But what I truly want to have at 50 is be like, wow, at 20, I bought that company and it failed. And at 21, I did that and I met that person. And we went traveling to that event and we met this person and went to dinner that was just an amazing time. And you know what I'm saying? And that's why I would tell Aurelien to do this as early as possible.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Aurelien. We're going to close with a quick game that is called Rapid Fire. It's super easy. I'm going to put 1 minute on the phone and I'm going to shoot you with words or a little phrase or 2 words. And you're going to say to me the first thing that pops up in your head. We have a leaderboard that updates every week on the Gomztalkz Instagram. And let's see where you position yourself. You ready?
Sounds good. Let's do it.
It's about business, about cities. It can be about everyone, everything. Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
The clock starts when I say the first word. Curated.
Business.
LinkedIn.
Platform.
Partner.
John.
School.
Hold.
Boston.
Home.
Europe.
Second home.
Color black.
Aesthetic.
Dubai.
Amazing place.
France.
Very important.
Family.
As important.
The beach.
Quite okay on vacation.
Hold.
Amazing place.
Color white.
Goes with black.
New York.
Love the energy. Wouldn't really live there for too long.
And Formula One.
A passion.
Nice. Time's up. Let's see how many you got. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Amazing. I think it's a great score. Let's see next.
Amazing.
Let's see this Thursday where you position yourself. Aurelien, a pleasure to have you here. I hope to see you very soon back in France, or I don't know, where we can cross paths back again. Let's see what we can make together. I send you a big hug. Anything you want to aggregate at the end of the podcast?
One thing I would add maybe is I really believe into, as we said, action. And there is that thing that James Clear says is that every action that you take is a vote to the person you want to become. So every action that you take is a vote to the person that you want to become. And I think that's super valuable. That's extremely valuable. And if people just want to take one thing out of this podcast, if that's this one thing from James Clear, which by the way, you should read his book, then we're good. Thank you so much, Sebastian.
Of course, and it goes with, I saw a video lately in past week that was the magic of what you want is in the work you are avoiding. That goes perfect with this. The work you're avoiding, there is the magic you want to have in life. I'm going to give you all the social media of Aurelien in the description. Thank you very much for listening to us. Have a great night, great day, or a good morning. Thank you very much.